Hello and welcome. This is John Bloom in the second series of the Microsoft Azure HDInsight setting up. So as you can see here, in the first video, we went ahead and created the HDInsight. Now, if you look at the naming conventions, you'll be surprised, as I am, that the name of this server is quite non-meaningful. And what's interesting is that the database is actually prefixed with Bloom Consulting, as is the storage account, which hosts the data on the HDFS and the blob storage. So what that means is that I use the same naming convention for these two. This one I just disregarded completely. And now this one I prefix with the BC. So I think we need improvement on our naming convention. The second thing I wanted to mention is that the location of the storage in the HDFS, HDInsight is the same location, which is nice because I think that's required actually, but I can't be, I'm pretty sure that's required. But the thing is that the database server should also reside within the same region so that there's no data swapping between the planet, which incurs extra cost and time and delays and all that business. So I would definitely change that if I was doing it again. So what we got here is the HDInsight cluster, and if we click on it, this spawns this window here, and then you'll see you'll see a bunch of information, which is nice, and nodes, cores, and D12, 4-node cluster, a bunch of stuff. Now, what I'd like to show you is the remote desktop. So what I'll do is click on that. It'll click on that, and then I'll click connect. And then what it'll do, it'll download a little VM for me to log on. So I'll click on that sucker, and then we'll connect, and then paste our password, and then hopefully. We know the certificate may not be valid because it's brand new and we haven't set up one. So this is actually the second time I've logged into the server. And what's interesting is this here. Now this looks pretty good actually. Yeah, this looks real good. So the first time I logged on, I was having a bit of trouble. And here it says that it's dead. So this could be related to what I was looking at before. So let's go ahead and browse the file system. Yeah, I got this error before, saying it doesn't recognize the HDFS or the web service HDFS. So that's concerning. So if I was to close this and click on this, well, it says it's up and running, so that's terrific. And then lastly, this thing, nodes, looks like it's good. So from there, I'd like to click on the Hadoop command prompt. Now, this is Windows version of Hadoop, which is nice because I've been using Windows for a long time, and I prefer it over Linux because when I go to Linux, I'm like dropped in a foreign country and I don't speak the language, and I have to find my way around, which means it takes 100 times longer for everything. So anyway, if I click on dir, a bunch of stuff. You can drill through each of the directories and see what's there. In our case, we want to go up a directory. And now these here are basically folders which you can dive into, like this change directory examples, and see what we got. You got examples, so examples are nice. And then if we will go to Hive, for example, now I could just, well, sometimes I like to spell it correctly. And then if I was to click on bin, and then you'll see a program called Hive. So I'll press my Control F1, maybe, and it doesn't work on this machine. That's for the VM. So I bet you I could do it this way. All right, there we go. Takes a while, but I figured it out. So if I was to initiate the Hive, I would just type in Hive enter, and there you go, and then you're off and running. But in this case, I'll go up the directory. And I've played with some of these others, like Mahout, which is the machine learning. I'm not sure it's the way. I mean, it's a good product, and yeah, so that's that. And I think there's other machine learning tools out there which people are using as well. Scoop is nice because you can pull in data from SQL Server, perhaps. Tez is the it's like a layer that sits on top that allows shell of a program to where other, in a sense, it's a faster version of SQL. It's much faster, 10 to 30 times, I imagine. So that's good too. And I believe when you initiate a Hive query, you just prefix it with some verbiage, and it indicates to use the TES. However, I'm not exactly sure if the underlying is still MapReduce. I think perhaps it is. But anyway, let's go ahead and issue a Hadoop command. This should tell us what's in the directory. A whole bunch of stuff. Now, if we were to go to the same command and type in example, for example, type that, and I imagine, yep, you get a bunch of stuff. So that's how you navigate through the Hadoop HDFS cluster, and that's basically what I wanted to show. In that we provisioned a Hadoop cluster, relatively easy. I'll go ahead and shut this down. I think it's log off. Yep. So that's that, and that's how we created the HDInsight Hadoop cluster on Microsoft Azure Portal in the cloud. And I hope you enjoyed, and stay tuned for more videos in the future. Thanks for watching.